Hey, what's up everyone and welcome. Today we are diving deep into what is, without a doubt, one of the most respected credentials in the tech world, the CCIE Data Center certification. We're going to break down the entire journey, what it is, what it's going to cost you, and most importantly, what it can do for your career.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase, right? The biggest question you're probably asking yourself is this. In a world that's all about cloud and constant change, is an expert-level cert like the CCIE Data Center really worth the massive amount of effort? Well, the short answer is a resounding yes, and it's because everything is evolving so fast. You know, modern data centers are the absolute backbone for things like AI, machine learning, and huge automation initiatives. And these aren't just buzzwords, right? These are real workloads that need incredibly high-performance, super low-latency infrastructure. This certification is what proves you're the one who can build and manage that complex foundation that makes it all tick.
So let's get a little more specific. What is it about this certification that makes it so valuable right now? This is what I find so cool about it. The CCIE Data Center goes way beyond just networking. It's validating your skills across the entire stack. We're talking ACI, that's application-centric infrastructure, all the way to UCS for compute and MDS for storage networking. It's not about just memorizing a bunch of commands. It's about proving you can design, deploy, and really optimize a complete data center solution, especially with a huge, heavy focus on the automation skills that every modern company is crying out for. All right, so let's say you're sold on the why. Now let's get into the how. What does the actual path to getting this thing look like? Believe it or not, the whole journey really boils down to two major milestones. First, you've got to pass the written exam, the 350-601 DCCOR, which basically tests all your core knowledge. Once you clear that hurdle, you get to face the main event, the absolutely grueling 8-hour hands-on lab exam. That's where you have to put all that theory into practice.
And, it's super important to realize this isn't a one-and-done kind of deal. The certification is only valid for 3 years. To keep it, you have to stay current. That means earning continuing education credits or passing more exams, which really just ensures your skills stay sharp and relevant. It's a commitment.
So you've got these two very, very different challenges ahead of you. It's crucial to understand that. Let's break them down a little bit more. This really illustrates the difference perfectly. The DCCOR is your classic 2-hour multiple-choice exam. It tests your foundational textbook knowledge. The lab, on the other hand, well, that's a whole other beast. It's a full 8-hour day where you get dropped into a complex, hands-on scenario and you're told to build and troubleshoot a real-world data center. One exam tests what you know, the other one tests what you can do when the pressure is on.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. A challenge like this requires a huge investment, not just of your time, but also your money. Let's talk numbers.
So your first stop on this financial journey is the DCCOR core exam. That's going to set you back $400 US. And then, of course, you've got the lab. This is the big ticket item. The starting price for that 8-hour practical exam is $1,600, and that's just the beginning.
This table really gives you the full, unvarnished picture. Because when you start adding in things like training courses, which are pretty much essential, practice lab time, and the fact that you have to travel to an official Cisco lab location, your total investment can easily hit anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000, maybe even more. So planning out this budget is an absolutely critical first step. So, with the path and the costs laid out, how in the world do you actually prepare for a marathon like this? Let's map out a game plan.
A really solid way to approach this is to think of it like an 18-week marathon. So for the first 6 weeks, you're just building that core knowledge, your core strength, and knocking out that DCCOR exam. The next 6 weeks, that's when you do deep dives into specific technologies and you get your hands dirty in your first practice labs. And those final 6 weeks are all about integration, just running full timed mock labs over and over again until you can get through those scenarios cleanly and on time.
After all that prep, all that investment, we have to come back to our original question. What's the return? What does the certification actually do for your career? Look, earning your CCIE Data Center immediately makes you a top-tier candidate for senior and architect-level jobs. We're talking about roles like data center network architect, automation-focused engineers, and those high-level consulting architects who lead massive projects. These are the people designing the critical infrastructure that's required for AI and ML. It's a huge deal.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's a true marathon.
It's a testament to your dedication, your technical depth, and your ability to perform under some pretty extreme pressure. It's a signal to any employer that you are a genuine expert who can be trusted with their most important infrastructure.
It is without a doubt a massive commitment of your time, your energy, and your money. But for anyone who wants to operate at the absolute highest level of data center technology, it's one of the most powerful statements you can possibly make about your skills. So, the only question left is, are you ready to run?